I was pulling one for Jason there. Sorry, look at that, pure Gallus, pal. Right, for Jason. What's the crack? Well, it's like stepping out with flair and authenticity, aren't we? This card salutes your unabashed confidence, encourage you to embrace every Gallus stride. Celebrate these moments with unabashed boldness, both in yourself and others. Every confident step you take crafts a story of courage and character. And I feel that things are a little bit harsh with you. And it's kind of, that's what I'm thinking, John, with him, is it's not been easy for you, but you hang in there, you know. Here's, I'll get Andrew on here.
When we first met.
How you doing?
Hello.
Hello, how are we doing?
Now, we had John had technical problems and he wasn't coming on, so I thought I'd give you a text to see if you were about. But
all right, I know. Just a second.
More the merrier, and it's good to have. Yeah. So if anyone who doesn't know John the Oracle, John's got a great podcast, and you could say there's a lot of don't say conspiracy stuff, John. There's about you like asking the right questions. That's what I would say.
That's a better way. I mean, that's a better way of looking at it.
Yeah, and Andrew was on a couple of weeks ago, and he helped out with a good chat about the cards and stuff. And
I think I saw the tail end of that on YouTube, because I noticed that you were live. I remember you were talking about it anyway, but I was a bit busy, and then I kind of caught the tail end of that on YouTube. That was really good. I only saw a few minutes, but I thought it was great. It was just a shame there wasn't even any point in me kind of saying hello, because it was literally just the last few minutes, but it was great.
Yeah, so we could have a debate with the three. Let's see what kind of scene we'll get up here.
This could be interesting.
I'm at the top. These are the bottoms now. Let's see if we can get a better one. Side maybe. How's that?
Just in the process of trying to log into this. Right, hold on.
We've got the chat.
Right, here we go.
Yeah. Okay.
Add your channels.
We're talking. So just on tonight's subject, right?
Have you literally just started?
We just started, and John disappeared on me, and these technical issues. So it was all on my own.
Yeah. So I had sound issues.
Hold on, I want to get my hairbrush if I'm live.
Well, that's good. We can have a good debate, and it's like so. We'll see if we can get back to three of us just now, and I'll put him. What we're back. Oh, you're brushing yourself. He's got the nightgown on. Yeah. Now,
I need to be careful not to expose myself, because that's all I've got on.
Look at this. This is meant to happen to get you on tonight, probably. Aye, the three amigos here. Yeah,
three amigos.
Aye, the young, old, and handsome.
There's that in like.
Which one's which, like, you know?
John's birthday was last week.
Yeah. I got my my official old bastard badge, if you pardon the expression. My age 60 free bus pass arrived about a week after I actually turned 60. It was late, but welcome anyway. So I'm now looking forward to cheap trips, get to go down to the Central Belt for £1 and things like that. I might even go up and see Derek as long as I get a cheap fare up there,
That's it, yeah. And, you're welcome to come this weekend, John. There's a lot going on this weekend up in my way.
There's a lot going on.
Andrew's up here doing a sound bath, and we've got.
Oh, right, okay. That's
if you can escape from the cat.
If I can escape from the cat. Yeah, the cat is the boss. That's the thing. I think more of my cat than I do most humans.
So, John, I'm going to put you in the middle here, right? Because you are.
I was in the middle.
There we go. Now, I want you to tell people about your kind of blog, and you're a researcher. This is why I chose Truth and Fiction tonight. And you've done a lot of research over the last few years. And give us your thoughts a little bit about yourself, John, and the audience out there, because we haven't been on for a while.
No, that's true. That's true. Okay. Well, nothing like putting me in the spot then anyway, just like center stage me, that's brilliant, But that kind of reminds me of the last time you did that to me was when you invited me around to an innocent party at a hairdresser salon after hours, and it turned out, and then you just left me there to do card readings for everyone because I hadn't done it before for people, except for friends and things like that. And then you said, "Right, I'll see you later, John. You just got on with it," and you disappeared on me and just left me there to it.
Because I know and trusted you to do it, and it gave
you did. That's exactly the reason. Yeah, you didn't get any tickles out of it at all, did you? No. Yeah, you were probably laughing all the way up the road as you ran away. Left me there. Anyway,
it's the same. I've got a more appropriate place to leave you than a hairdresser.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. And amongst some hot women, you know.
Well, they've got nothing to do, so you'd have been to give them a card reading.
Not now that I've got my bus pass, you know, they wouldn't have me. But anyway,
I'm buzzing to get mine.
Sorry?
I'm buzzing to get my bus pass.
You're buzzing to get your bus pass. You look like you've got a wee while to go yet, though.
A wee while to go, longer than what I'd like to think, but
yeah.
There we go. So, okay, let's say about 25 or 30 years ago, I kind of started getting curious about a lot of stuff in the world that that probably most people weren't getting curious about that time. But even as a teenager, I kind of had like bought books on UFOs and kind of things. It kind of really struck my imagination that all these different stories about things that apparently go on in the world that nobody believes, or maybe very few people believe, and that kind of manifested into what people think of as conspiracy theories. And of course, I was already kind of interested in that kind of stuff just by virtue of my early life interest in UFOs. I don't know why, but for some reason, as a teenager, and I'm talking about long before kids would normally be interested in things like that. I'm like 12 or 13 or 14, things like that. I was, and I was already buying books on the subject. And this is this is kind of it almost feels kind of weird when I think about it now, but I suppose I had nothing better to do with my time, and so that's what I did. So, but I'm going on another sort of 10 or 15 years on, and I'm beginning to use computers and doing searches online and things like that. But I'm still wandering off to the library and just finding my nose to a particular book and just pick it up and take it away. And I remember when I first started really taking a serious interest in what people call conspiracy theories, was when I started getting involved in the New Age topic. And I bought a book called The Only Planet of Choice, which was by a deep trance medium called Phyllis Schlemmer. And also her cohort there was a guy called Paladin Jenkins, and they were supported by a background team and what have you. Including another chap called Andrija Puharic. Now these names won't mean anything to anyone, but I've got a reason for mentioning the last one in particular. So I read the book, and that kind of really got me interested in New Age topics. And I kind of read a few more books, and I came back to it, and it kind of intrigued me a little bit that these entities apparently, which were known as the Elohim, were in communication with deep trance channels and trying to provide information for us, Earthlings, etc. Right? Now, what I discovered next, though, was that this chap, Andrija Puharic, it turns out, and this can be checked on Wikipedia, anyone could go in and find out, so this isn't a tinfoil hat crazy conspiracy theory. This chap, Andrija Puharic, has a history with the CIA and MKUltra, an organization that has, some dubious antics to do with mind control and things like that. And that led me down the garden path of now being very concerned about just how much random conflicting information that there is out there, that people are willing to believe. And obviously there are some that, and I wonder, are there some that are true, others, it seemed like most was false. And I was very skeptical at the time. Now, since then, I've kind of discovered that there is a small minority of what people call conspiracy theories that are actually true and have turned out to be accurate. But the vast majority, are, from what I can gather, the vast majority are, have just manifested out of either perhaps a combination of paranoia and sometimes perhaps a little deep state help. It all helps, when, ridiculing truthful information as misinformation. If you can point to someone and say, "Oh, you crazy conspiracy theorist, how can you believe that?" And so I sometimes wonder whether or not, things like the resurgence of the flat earth theory and things like that might not have happened with a lot of deep state help. Just because, I bet you believe the earth is flat too. Oh my God, of course this medical intervention is completely safe. How dare you suggest it isn't? you probably think that reptilians run the world secretly as well, don't you? You crazy conspiracy theorist, you know. And so it's very, very helpful to the state, you know, if we, you know, if they've got a finger that they can point to people who reveal what would otherwise be considered, you know, what would otherwise be truthful information, and say they're crazy for believing it, and that way they get to control the narrative. So it's been very, very handy. So now, just a start off piece of fun, you know. So that's how I kind of got. That's how I kind of got interested in the topic, and ever since then, I've just been learning more and more and reading more and more. And you know, I've got a question for you guys. Actually, do you believe the theory that is often touted around, and it's not about reptilians or the flat Earth, but do you believe that the CIA literally invented the term conspiracy theory?
Yes, definitely. I think we both agree on that, Andrew. It's like...
No, well, unfortunately, you would both be wrong, and here's why. And this is very interesting, right? Now, here's why. All right, the term conspiracy theory actually dates back to the sort of late 1800s. I think you would think, you know, basically posh snobs in funny wigs, chin wagged, in the royal courts of the UK and England, right? And they spoke about what then would be considered or termed court conspiracies, all right, as in royal court conspiracies. And these were very, very popular at the time. But what they tended to actually relate to was, you know, conspiracies that were actually true. You know, who was conniving with who about what and things like that. So at this point in time, these conspiracy theories were usually mostly true, and they were just like shared like gossip in between these posh snobs and funny wigs, right? Now, the term kind of maintained an element of popularity throughout the early 1900s up to the 1950s, but it wasn't used very much after it kind of, you know, left the courts. But of course, as in everything else Anglo, it wandered its way over to the United States as well. And after the assassin of JFK, you know, the CIA came out with a report about the assassination, all right? And let's see now, it's the Warren Commission now, the 1964 Warren Commission report into the assassination of JFK. The CIA coined the term in 1967 to disqualify those who questioned the official version, doubting that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. The effect is to silence victims of conspiracy or their advocates and manages public consensus to suit the interests of the powerful. And it has been used that way ever since. So it's not literally an invention of the CIA. They just co-opted our current term and changed its definition around a little bit and manipulated it for their own use. But apart from that,
we're half wrong.
Half wrong, yes, yeah. But this is the thing, you see, everybody believes, right? And I've got a reason why I did this to you, and I do apologize. I don't mean to come across like I'm trying to be smart here. I've got a reason why I did this to you, all right? And this is because the slightest variation in truth in anything that is a conspiracy theory, all right, maintains its status as theory alone. And provides ammunition for people like the deep state, the media, the establishment, political establishment, etc., to continue to rubbish it and say, oh, look, you're talking a whole lot of nonsense. Because every time anyone says, oh, the CIA invented the term conspiracy theory, they're automatically attacked and said, oh, you're talking nonsense. And that adds to, I mean, that benefits the establishment. It doesn't benefit us. And so it's actually very important to eliminate, you know, what isn't true. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know, so when I approach the subject, I'm actually trying to approach it not from the perspective of believing, but from the perspective of critical thinking. Because if we believe it too much, we'll tend to believe things that aren't true, and then we're just adding to the ammunition that the media and the establishment has to continue to ridicule us, which means that, you know, the whole ploy continues to work. So if we really want to find out which ones are true and share information about it, we also have to acknowledge the ones that are false, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think,
and that includes individual details. That's not just about, you know, I mean, as soon as you get some detail wrong, that's playing into the hands of those who just want to point at you and call you a crazy guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what a lot of people today are questioning. I think there's more people are waking up spiritually, John, and people who are questioning the norm.
Yeah.
Like, and we question this, like me and my union days, Andrew, yourself with your spiritual development, and John with yours kind of spiritual development. We're questioning some of these things, and some of these things were getting channeled to us as well to question. And I think there is a bit of an awakening, slow may it be at times, around the world. And I think that's what we are kind of seeing through the crap, as you would say, Andrew, would you? Seeing through and making our own minds up. I think there's more free thinking now than there's been in a long time. I don't know, have you had any experiences of kind of, I wouldn't say conspiracy, UFO type stuff, Andrew, and up in Peterhead there? It's like...
Well, funnily enough, I actually wrote a book and published it. It's an ebook. I self-published it a while ago called In Plain Sight. And it's kind of loosely based around the flat earth idea. And the reason I chose that was because it was a hot topic at the time. It was about 2018 I wrote this. And it kind of explored a few things like Project Bluebeam and like alternate history and things like that. And what I find interesting is how everything can tie in. So before I kind of buy into anything, I like to understand both sides of the argument so that I can convince myself one thing or another. But then I'm always open to have that challenged. So what most people, I feel, and again, flat earth being a massive extreme, is that people, and I feel that the government do this as well, is that for every one truth there is, they put out 3 or 4 things that are ridiculous to make the whole thing look ridiculous, kind of in line with what you said, John. But I think that if you kind of look for the thread and ask the right questions, if you're open to have your beliefs challenged, you can't see it. But because people, I feel a lot of the time, aren't willing to have their beliefs challenged, because that would create kind of cognitive dissonance. It would be mad. But to have that challenge to the point where you can't give them an answer, it instantly makes you look like the idiot. So you could say, well, this is what's going on, right? Well, what's the alternative? I don't know, because how can you know? But what you can be certain of is that there's lies being told. There's things that are quite clearly wrong and hidden from us. So why can't we start from there? Look at like NASA, for example. Where's all the money going? You look at the moon landing. It's like, well, you question that. You look at the science behind it, and what kind of gets me with things is gravity. And that's, again, engineering's my background. So it took me a lot of convincing, and I did the maths, I did all the checks that I could, and ultimately gravity only works if there's 2 bodies, and it only works if it's constant, which it is. But if it was constant, you wouldn't be able to pick things up. Leaves wouldn't be on trees. It would be that constant attraction. So again, that's indicating that it's selective. So you start breaking that down, and then you start looking at simulation theory, and then you start looking at hollow earth, and then you start looking at ancient civilizations, Tartaria, for example, and they all tie in. There's a common thread between them all. We're in a pressurized system, which is only possible if it's an enclosed system.
Yeah.
You look at the Van Allen belts, you look at the technology, you look at even things like the spacesuits are designed to operate in a vacuum, but they work in a pressurized underwater simulation. It's complete opposite. That's like going to train for a Saharan desert adventure over in Antarctica. It's a complete opposite environment from what they're training into, what they're experiencing. But these are the kind of questions that a lot of people don't ask because we can't give them the answer that they want.
Right. And there's a lot.
Does that make sense? Yeah. So I'm all into the conspiracy idea of things. But again, with the spiritual aspect, it's just something that I'm at a stage now where I actually don't care. I'm happy that I can see through the BS. And it's like, where do you stop?
Yeah. I think like
my friend Conspiracy Mike, he's on it all the time. He's watching like 6-hour videos and have a look at this, 12 hours long. No, because a lot of it we can't verify. So to me, it gets to a point where, is it consuming your life or where do you stop? To me, it stops where I can see through the BS and it's not affecting my life. And I'm happy with that.
I mean, there's William, and he's saying there's not a lot of proof that history hasn't been rewritten. More proof things have been. How can you trust anyone but your own gut and beliefs? And I think that's what we're all getting at. And it's like, and thanks for that, William. And Craig Trotter, I know we're looking for a kind of mission of spirit. At the end of this conversation about truth and fiction, we will pull some cards and hopefully bring through some spiritual kind of connections as well. But tonight's subject is a chat show for people who are like-minded to come on and listen. And tonight's subject is all about truth and fiction. And it's one of John's subjects, you could say. And we've invited Andrew on as well because John had technical issues, but he's now back. So anyone out there wants to ask any questions or have any of their own beliefs, have witnessed things or they've seen... I've seen a lot of things in the political world when I was young, Andrew. And John knows this when I was involved with the unions and stuff, and things that make sense. And I've seen sort of deals being done. And to me, it was more conspiracy. To me, was corruption, and seeing things that were done underhandedly. Deals were done, as we're now starting to see in the COVID type stuff, Brexit type stuff, underhanded it. And I shouted and bawled, and asked the right questions. Was young, naive. And because I shouted and bawled, I was blacklisted. It's like, and it ended up blackballed. It's like, and ended up working in Norway of all places with better terms and conditions. And I started my family then and whatnot, and I went up a ladder professionally because I got to the point you went, well, what's the bother? And like you, Andrew, I sort of said, I can see it. It's time other people did their own research, their own journey, and opened up. And I think that's what's coming through is a lot of people we're talking to when we're coming in to see us for our therapies or whatever, or just a chat, is they're asking themselves, like, do we have to put up with this shit, Derek? Do we have to?
Absolutely.
No, we don't have to.
It's not so when we say it does, but people are so afraid. And like with the spiritual aspect, where like manifesting and what you focus on grows, and all that fear mongering in the media, and it's people see what's going on, but they're not willing to face it, I think, a lot of the time. And it's the same way, like COVID being a prime example. A lot of people woke up off the back of that. But as I say, with the research, there's so much disinformation and people don't know how to ask the right questions because we're not taught how to do that. We're not able to navigate the information because it's been such a saturation of information. It's like we've been given all the information we could ever want, but we don't know what to do with it. We've been spoiled for choice. Where do you stop? And because it's split into so many different things, it's mad. And then somebody mentioned was it William mentioned about God earlier? Again, you look at some things in the Bible, like a King James version, different versions of the Bible, the Book of Enoch. You look at giants, you look at petrified trees, you look at, and then you can start thinking about things like the walls of Jericho in ancient civilizations. Could that have been a direct energy weapon? That caused it to fall? Noah's Ark, was that just a reset USB master, switch off, switch back on, restart things? That's it. And I think putting John back in the picture here, John, some of the research you've done, and you've done a lot of deep research on kind of factual stuff and all that. And because John is one of these guys, he's stubborn, he reads a lot and he does a lot of research. And more so than me when I was younger, because we were brought up together, John, and when we were teenagers onwards. And what a fascinating with John will come out with facts and figures, and look at this, Dan, look at this. And I didn't listen, Andrew. I was sitting there going,
So what? It says, you look at this, Derek. You come up with this. Read it. And sometimes it was spiritual stuff. And I just was naturally into the spiritual stuff anyway, more so than John. And what we really found out, and our other best friend John, was in a numerology sense, we all had the same numerology. Soul number 5.
5, yeah.
Okay.
And I thought, we're all into this stuff. In different ways, totally different ways, because Steve's different to us. But he questioned things as well in a kind of professional way, didn't he? And John was in a kind of wiki witcher, because your sister was a white witch at that time. And I was like the union guy asking questions all the time. And we came together, and the conversations we used to have over a pint in the Prince of Wales. It's like,
yeah.
But in our working professional lives, we did ask the questions, Andrew, and sometimes we get into trouble for it, John.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I was just thinking, you know, some things don't change anyway. I was thinking about that time you got blacklisted, you know, for speaking out on behalf of your colleagues offshore. And of course, that's like a form of censorship, really, isn't it? You know, is to get rid of the guy who's causing the trouble, etc. You know, we don't want him telling everybody the truth, so that we end up having to spend money on actual safety. You know, and it's weird how the world is so appalling that people who want to make a lot of money would actually think like that. But that's literally what was going on. But it's been going on like that for a very long time, and it still continues today. And you know, Andy was talking about the touching a little bit on the last few years and what have you, and absolutely, especially on social media, there's been massive amounts of censorship to try to avoid, you know, again, it's been all about ridiculing people and, you know, and calling them conspiracy theorists if they believe anything except what the BBC and the government tells them. But it's been going on a very, very, very long time.
Just like to jump in there a little bit, Sean. Just that William's there, and just to wouldn't involve yous out there. So please put up the comments and get involved in the chat, guys, because this is your time to let off steam or talk. And yes, we will pull. We get 3 card readers share later on. We will pull some cards at the end, the last half hour. But William's
I will be limited for time, though.
Yeah.
So can I make sure? I'm not sure when I'll need to jump off.
No bother.
Maybe another half an hour or so before I need to go.
Yeah, it's only half an hour to go anyway. Now, William's saying, do you ever think all this information is thrown out there on purpose? I like to know what's going on and we ain't getting to see. And I think that's what we're talking about.
Yes, I mean there is a conspiracy theory out there that you can dig up if you want to, that suggests that the reason why that, you know, there is such an interesting research, you know, on things like the flat Earth theory, is because it's been because of CIA involvement. The theory kind of goes that the CIA wanted to know just how crazy people could you know, just how far people would go on crazy, right? What would they be willing to believe? I mean, if you were the bad guy and you were setting your own, how bad can we be, and just how crazy can we be, and can we get enough people in the world to believe something so ludicrous, so crazy, that's so out there, and we can still get people to believe it, right? And so enter resurgence of the flat Earth theory. And then, of course, there's also here's another one for you: is the world secretly run by reptilian aliens from Alpha Draconis? You know, and so there's things like that. Now, of course, I mean, you were talking about me deep diving. I deep dived all the way back to the Old Testament and correlations with the Sumerian text. You know, where the aliens are supposed to be, you know, represented by 2 characters who were brothers called Enlil and Enki, and that they correlated with what would have been called God you know, Lucifer in the Old Testament, right? And Enlil being God, the guy who wanted to rule, and Enki being in the Sumerian texts, the brother who actually wanted to free humanity. So it seems like Christianity turns it around. And so this is just a theory, right? I'm not saying I advocate this. I really don't. So the general idea is that Christianity kind of turned things upside down and made the bad guy good and the good guy bad. That's why there's so many Luciferians out there, right? And so that just shows you how crazy it goes. But the other thing about it, remember the serpent entering the Garden of Eden to tempt Eve with the apple from the tree of knowledge, right? Okay, so the serpent could be considered a reptilian, couldn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and so you could. I mean, if you really wanted to go deep diving into these some of these conspiracy theories, it goes back a very, very, very long time, right? But that's not to say that there hasn't been any deep state / establishment help in keeping them going. Did you know also that if you were to do a quick Google search, you would even find, I think it's even on Wikipedia, you would actually find that there is such a thing as voice to skull technology. And this voice to skull technology has been colloquially called voice of God tech now and again. And it's suggested that this is technology used by the, dark projects to influence people who think that they are channeling information from spirit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard that.
And to ensure that the waters are sufficiently muddied, that there's so much conflicting information out there that no one knows what to believe, how to feel, what to think. And it's very, very easy then to ridicule anyone who comes from that space and it's also very easy to stop people from, or at least to limit people's ability to actually learn what is true out there, because the waters are so badly muddied with all the rubbish that's put out by the CIA, MK Ultra, and all the rest. Yeah. And so this is where I'm really trying to come from, is coming from that place of we need to step back from the New Age movement generally, and we kind of need to knock that on the head and say enough is enough, right? Because probably half of it's coming from MK Ultra, and it's about time we just knocked it on the head. And the proof of the pudding is right there on Wikipedia. You can find this guy, Andrea Puharich, right there, telling you that he used to be in the CIA, and you can find an involvement with DARPA / MK Ultra, these kind of projects, and you can then go and get this book, The Only Planet Is Choice, which I gave you a copy of, Derek, didn't I, a year ago, and you can find his name in that book as being part of the supporting team for the Deep Trance Channel. And so the proof is right there in your hand. You know for a fact, and I've proven it, that a lot of information in New Age is just utter nonsense. And so we really need to step away from that, and we need to go back to original teachings and old forms of spirituality that haven't been tainted.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm coming to in the spiritual aspect of, and I think it was when I think you were similar, Andrew, with the Reiki, when I attuned to energy, and I don't know, it's been a bit massive change, emotional change. I learned about the chakras, learned about myself and how we connect. And I always say God's in there as much as it's up there. And the golden particle is in me, and it's in you, it's in everything else. And when we open to that, we kind of get the answers. We get a knowing. And this is when we don't get caught. As you say, I used to get caught with my politics and stuff. I used to get caught in it. I used to argue. A bit of a rebel. It was called Red Derek for something down in North Sea. I was never off Sky TV and whatnot, and the formation of the WLC and stuff like that. And I know what we did was right because it was in safety grounds. It wasn't about money. It was about, I lost a lot of friends to Piper and the Chinook and the helicopters, and it was all about safety. But what we do is we awaken that within us. And the questions are always answered from within. And I used to say that to John. You were researching. I said, it's in there. I just know. I don't know why I know or how I know. And it's not something that's been put in there. I feel it, I sense it, I taste it even. And when I started doing mediumship, and the thing that gets me, it's the love. You can't run away from that love when you know the truth, when you get the love feeling and that energy. And I think that's what people are connected to. You know what? I'm not going to argue with that guy. I'm just going to send him love because he needs it more than me. And I've done it this week. It's like, why get so upset and make myself ill? And I've had this situation at work this week. I'll just send love. I'll put a wall around myself. I'll ground myself. I'm not going to let it affect my health anymore. think that's what likes of the David Icks and all them are saying. Yeah, they've done the research. You make up your own mind. But he's a very spiritual person. Says, I just send love to them now. They need it more than me. So we do change. I think you're right, Andrew. I think in a spiritual sense, when you open up, he's saying, can't be bothered with this. I'm just going to find my own truth. So it's like, get your view on that, Andrew, because, you're a little bit younger than me, John.
Yeah, you got a while to go before you get your bus pass, right?
You
in center stage there. You can have your say. Then we'll go to some card pulling and stuff because people are getting impatient out there as usual.
All right. No, I do think that people focus too much on the physical evidence. As you say, faith isn't there anymore. Trust isn't there. If people feel that something's not right, it's not right. You can trust the energy. And this is part of the thing that kind of, it's unfortunate we like to the media, like anytime we speak about conspiracy theories, it doesn't matter which one it is, the people that they put forward to represent that argument is usually a raving lunatic.
That as well.
Aye. So it's a bit like, and then unfortunately, when most people meet somebody that's like during the lockdown, like there was a lot of protests, and I went to a couple of them just to kind of see what the crack was. And it was all people that were so angry and they weren't effective.
Yeah.
And that shuts, and you look at like this, like Just Stop Oil, for example, or the militant vegans, they're so blinded by their own self-righteousness, their own cause, fanatical about it, they're shutting everybody off. Yeah. They're closing off their argument before they've even made their case. So I feel that people need to, as you say, take that step back, trust that something's not right, but protest more effectively. Hit them where it hurts. Get the argument in place so that you're not just standing there cursing and swearing in front of the news camera.
Yeah.
Because there's so much, it's like you ask somebody a question and they just splurge out all this facts and information, and most people are just a bit like, whoa, what do you want me to do with this? There's so much things that nobody can respond to it. And I do think that the truth community, or truth, or whatever you want to call it, I do think that they really need to have a look at themselves and how they conduct themselves, because they're losing so much credibility for their cause and they don't realize it.
Yeah.
And as I say, like when I started getting more involved in energy work and faith and coming back to spiritualism, again, you just put that trust there. You just put the faith there. It's like, well, I can see what's going on. I don't need to talk about it. Mm-hmm. And if somebody asks me, I'll give them my opinion. But again, I'll just say, well, that's what I think. It's what it looks like. Yeah. But I can't prove it. I can't disprove it. Yeah. And that's the thing as well. It's like, I can't prove my argument and neither can you. All you've got is what's been told to you.
Yeah.
And as you say, history is written by the victor.
Yes.
Sometimes the victor is not always the winner. It's like, and
it's quite funny because I remember reading something. You'll maybe know this, John. Is it something like 60 years that it takes to prime people into things? And people speak about full disclosure. The world isn't ready for full disclosure. Imagine they just kind of, aliens are among us.
Well,
run by reptilians. People would lose their shit.
Yeah, I mean that's something else that I mean the story about the book, The War of the Worlds. Mm-hmm. It was turned into a radio show when it first aired, and what happened was they just started playing the show without any introduction, if I remember. I would have to double check. I think I'm right in saying this. I imagine this is what they had to have done, really, because of the response that happened. People started panicking around anyone who listened to the show instantly started panicking. They really thought that there was a genuine invasion from Mars. Mm-hmm. And so the establishments kind of learned something from that. Mm-hmm. In that, news like that that kind of news with potential dire consequences, the kind of panic that would ensue if it had been real, and so this is partly informed to some degree how they have dealt with the whole kind of UFO phenomenon, or so they argue, or so that particular argument goes. Part of the reason why they don't share information is because they're actually trying not to panic us pure minions, right? Who aren't going to be able to deal with information. On the other hand, you could look at it from the perspective that this whole 60-year rule, etc., and kind of thing, that it takes a very slow time over a long time, to prepare people for life-changing information. What have you? You could look at it and say, well, that's very, very handy. After all, Pfizer recently just wanted to hold back on providing any information on, on potential issues with a certain medical intervention that's been going around recently, on the basis that on a similar basis, and they wanted to delay it for 75 years. For some reason, they thought that we didn't need to know what was in the vaccine, and oops, I used the word, didn't I? That was that. Oh dear, I hope I'm still on Facebook this time tomorrow. And it could well, and so this is it. They don't want to release certain information for a long, long time, and I think a lot of this, I think, is just underestimating the deliberately underestimating sometimes, the character of the human animal. I think we're built for much tougher stuff than that. I think the most recent generations might not be, but that's another argument and a different, more complex topic. But generally speaking, the human animal is a lot tougher than that. And I don't think the 60-year rule is a realistic one. In truth, I think it's just something else that they've used to their advantage. And the Pfizer not wanting to withhold information for 75 years is a pretty obvious example.
Yeah. I think when we look back and you see what's been happening the last, like on TV, the documentary about the post office and how that's changed things, and that was people telling the truth, and the storylines changing. And I think there's a lot of things coming to the surface by just telling the truth, what happened. And I think, and there's Cara Vorderman, she's never off TikTok and whatnot. Really, and this is Cara Vorderman, who was part of the media empire, really criticising the money that was spent on the deals for all the COVID deals, the masks and everything, really exposing people. So people, I think, John, you're right. People are getting tougher. And this is not someday we thought that we were doing that. But she must have been a really good journalist when she was younger. And she's going, I'm doing proper journalism here. I'm asking the questions and coming up with facts to back it up. So it is waking. And I think the media, I think the TikToks and all that is so powerful. But we can influence that as well. I think it's just, we've got a bit more freedom now. Now, whether that's to do with kind of they've been exposed and people are kind of, because I think it's just part of doing these chat shows as well. And I know we've got to dance around certain things because we've got to watch, but we're asking the questions. We're not denying anything and we're not portraying anything. We're just saying, what do people think? There is an opening. There's people are questioning themselves spiritually. What's going on in the news. And I think it's a good subject. And when we pull a card on it, and the answers that give us is we're all three card pullers. It's amazing when we pull cards for other people. And the information we get from that and pass it on, it's totally fascinating. And I think it does wake people up when people do listen. They'd rather have a card and listen to us three. But if we pull a card on a subject, saying like, this is what you get. Oh, I'm not too sure about that. Well, that's the truth, isn't it? And it's on a card. How do I know that? Because we go inside. Or
the truth is on the inside. That's you guys have pretty much got it spot on. I sometimes could be guilty of giving all the bad news at times, don't I? When I'm on with you, Derek, and then you give the good news. So we're quite a good tag team in that respect, aren't we? But you're right in the respect that it all comes from the heart. Look inward, and if it does genuinely feel like unconditional love that you're experiencing, then it will be true. If you get a neutral or negative feeling, then it's something you should step away from.
Yeah, and I think it's, I say to people, let's just agree to disagree.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start agreeing to disagree, we agree on stuff.
See, people need to remember that you can disagree with them. That's something that's been massively shut down. This debate and questions and answers, and it's like, if you don't agree with me, we kind of spoke about this the last time I was on, Derek. It's like, people need to remember that you can disagree and still be friends.
Yeah.
You know, and again, like as I said earlier, like I don't 100% reside my beliefs to one thing or another. I'm perfectly open to have them challenged, and if I can see something that justifies me changing that point of view, I will. You know, but likewise, I don't force it on anybody. Like my spiritual aspect, I don't force it on anybody. I'm open about it. People ask my question, I'll speak to them about it as long as they want, but I certainly don't force it on anybody. And that's, again, I feel that that's a softer, easier approach, because you're a bit more collected, a bit more controlled, and a bit more coherent than the rambling people that you see that the media puts in front of everybody, painting us all with the same brush.
Yeah. And I think the disclosure thing is, if there was aliens here, if there was all this stuff that we've been talking about over the last sort of 10, 20 years, and there's so much stuff we go on about, John. I've seen UFOs, I've researched UFOs, and I feel that I've been communicated through, and I've been in weird situations going in a healing sense where I thought I've had an alien with me healing somebody, you know, and it's, how do you explain that to folk? And you know, it is, you think I'm going nuts, but I felt it, you know. And I think people are ready for the truth. That's my thoughts. And I've got a gut kind of tickly feeling saying people are ready now. You know? And we're proof of that, because there's three guys who would never think in the last, I don't know, you said it, Andrew, John, you've said it, we would never think we would be doing the stuff that we're doing today.
No, I mean, I seem to remember the first conversation I had with you, Derek, when we suddenly discovered that, and so, you know, we've known each other since we were teenagers, and we suddenly discovered that we had similar interests. And we had both already been doing tarot or whatever we were doing for about 10 years or something before we even knew about each other. And we've known each other since we were teenagers, and we're now in our 30s or something like that. And we didn't know that one interest that we both had, we hadn't shared with each other. And we'd literally been doing it for years. It's weird.
There you go. Remember that time we were in, and I've known everything about John, his upbringing, his family and everything. But I was in a pub with you, John, and I just started my mediumship. I was on the psychic telly and all that. I said, John, I says, look, I know we're having a drink. It was the first pint of the night in the Prince of Wales in Aberdeen. I says, well, I've got somebody here for you. And I didn't know this person. And I says, another sister. And John goes, shut.
Yeah, because that's right. Yeah, because I've got a whole other half to my family that I'd never mentioned to you that I had that are down in England. So yes, so there was a sister that you didn't know existed. So you were very confused when she came through, because she had passed not that long before.
It's like, and I gave them the message, and it was like, it came out with me before I thought. And John's sitting there and says, "You are genuine, because there's no way." Like, he's my best mate. No way I would have known that. And that's when we realised that this shit is real. It's like, you know, just two working guys sitting in the pub. Oh, we went to this medium shit. Oh, where are you? I says, John, did you have a sister I didn't know about? It's like, and we've just kind of went on ever since then. And you know what? I don't care if people slag me off anymore. Come along, see it, do it, touch it. I'll just agree to disagree with them. And there's a few who said that. And I think the proof is in the pudding when we started doing a couple of wee readings here. And I will say to people now, we've got 3 card readers here. I don't know if you get the cards there, Andrew, or what.
I didn't know. As I say, I'm going to hit a jump off.
Me and John will put the cards.
If I had a bit more time to plan it, I would have.
Aye.
But
every Monday night, every Monday night, I'm going to be on here for the next few weeks. And
this is Monday, of course.
Aye.
Yeah, right enough.
I know.
Well, if I may do nothing, I'll keep myself clear. But so normally Mondays are quite busy for me, so like I kind of need a wee bit of a kind of primer beforehand.
No bother.
Just so that I'm.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming on when John was having lots of technical issues earlier on.
Thank you as well, Andrew.
But I know I'll leave you to do the readings, and good luck to you both. I'll speak to you again.
We'll see you Saturday, and I'll put that poster up just now. Andrew's coming up on Saturday, see if we can get the pro start up on Saturday, up in Elgin, and Andrew will be doing the sound bath and probably taking part in a bit of the cards later on, Andrew. And it's amazing.
I'll bring him a few sets with me.
Yeah.
If ever wants to kind of hang back and kind of want to do some readings with him, it'll be good laugh.
Yeah. And it's our first open day, and we're really looking forward to it. We've got interviews with Natalie and Nicola there, people want more information on what they're doing, and Crystal Soundbath for yourself, and there'll be a good banter of me and Angela later on too, and we're all having a bit of a carry out, and we'll be doing a wee bit of a demonstration, medium chip wise, and me and Angela doing our stuff later on. So it's a long day, exciting day, and first of many to come in Elgin, so look forward to seeing you, Andrew, there as well.
Aye, and I've got a fair in Mintlaw on the Sunday as well, so it's got to be a busy weekend.
Yeah.
Right, well, I'll take my leave just now, chaps, and I'll speak to you soon.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew, for coming on.
Right, take care now. Bye, John.
Bye.
So the secret message out there is if you just say cards, and we can pull some cards for you, whatever. But it's good it's with the card comment, if you could ask a question. Is it something love, something to go on? And it's just a quick wee minute reply you get. Sometimes me and John go on a bit, but it's like if people are wanting a card, and we've got say 20 minutes or so to pull some cards, and ask you any questions. I remember when I was on Psychic TV and we used to get a text readings. I used to love them because it was spontaneous. And this is what it's like, and it reminds me of people coming up. Are we getting any asking tonight? Oh, they've all disappeared, I think. It's like,
oh, well.
John, why don't you pull a card for us all?
I'll pull a card for us all, yes, why not? If they've all disappeared, it'll be an interesting card, then it will just be for us two.
Well, Jacqueline's asked for a card, so
it's
not coming up on here though.
I haven't seen much coming up on the studio for. Well, I wasn't sure whether it was stuck or what.
Yeah, Jacqueline Perry has asked for a card because it's on Facebook. Card, will everything go okay tomorrow?
Okay, am I doing that just now?
Jacqueline Perry, yeah.
Yeah, we'll do Jacqueline Perry. Will everything go well tomorrow?
Yeah.
Is everything going to go well tomorrow for Jacqueline? Ooh, well, this came kind of... Oh, that's interesting. Now, where's my camera? There it is. So we have the Lovers card. I mean, that certainly looks positive, doesn't it? The Lovers isn't always... about the more obvious meaning. Sometimes it kind of relates to I feel like saying some kind of important decision. On the card it says, make choices from your heart, deeply emotional commitments and the power of love. Make choices from your heart. Make choices from your heart is the bit that's kind of resonating with me at the moment. That's what I'm in my heart, I'm saying yes. In my heart, I'm saying yes. I feel like there's some kind of important decision around tomorrow. And this decision, whatever it is you decide to do, you should make that choice from the heart, what really resonates with you most. It's more important to do what you really feel in the heart that you should do, rather than what your head thinks that you should do, if that makes sense. Follow your heart is what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
That's the message of the Lovers. Okay.
It's not
I hope that helps a little bit.
I think my chat's froze a little bit in here, but I'm getting it on the mobile. And Callum Murray, she's asked for a card. I'll do that and give you a break, John. And I'll just put myself in the middle here.
That's all right. Yeah, I mean, mine seems to have frozen as well, actually. I'm not getting anything on my feed. Yeah. So it's maybe happened to both of us then, is it?
Right, let's see if we can get this. Oh, it's froze. I wonder if we can reconnect. It seems to have gone wonky. It seems to have gone. Let's get back to this. There we go. Okay, we'll go back to that.
Oh,
technical issues tonight, John. I think that's just been the theme. It's like,
yeah.
Okay, I've got it on the phone anyway, so I can answer it if you're still there. If Caroline Murray, if you could hear me, if you can put a wee text up, you might see it come through now. Now, what I'm going to do, Murray, is it time to go self-employed? Is I'm going to pull one of the Oracle Fortune cards for you. All right, looking forward, because this is looking forward. My gut feeling is yes. Let's go for it, right? And here we go. Oh, beware. So there's something holding you back. And I think it's fear, to be honest with you, because be careful who you trust all the time. So some of your ideas, keep to yourself till it's the right time, Caroline, because I do feel that there's people who might take some of your ideas. And so it does say beware. Number 3 there's a divine number 2. A quick tarot card. And I'm getting this, leave the baggage behind. So there's maybe things you need to sort out. It's not quite the right time, but it's not far off it. Leave the baggage behind and take that leap of faith. Be the fool and just take a risk. And I'll do my what's the crack card. Oh, look at this. Pure Gallus. Be Gallus. It's stepping out with flair, authenticity, aren't we? This card salutes your unabashed confidence, encourages you to embrace every Gallus stride, celebrate those moments with unabashed boldness, both in yourself and others. Every confident step you take crafts a story of courage and character. So be brave, right? And, strong and go for it, right? And we've got Alex Schubert, as well, Sarah. She's asked a question here on YouTube. Who's this? There's somebody else. Hello, sorry, Barney and promotion channel. Those prices. Look, there's always a bot, isn't there, John, on Twitch? It's like,
another one, is there?
We'll get rid of that one. It's like, there we go. It's like, so Sarah, I know her too well. She's on my course at the weekend, John. So I'm going to pull a wee card for Sarah Suarez or Alex. You could say
Sarah. Okay, sorry, Sarah got a question, Derek.
Yeah. She missed the beer. Okay. Caroline Murray saying thanks for that. Just so she knows it's her. She's on YouTube, so you're not seeing it on Facebook.
Okay, so I'm doing for Sarah now, yes?
Yeah.
That's fine. I know I'm late to here. I know. What did I say? I know late, but
I know it's late, but and then we just pull out a wee card there.
Yeah, okay, yeah. No, I'm just wondering what it said. Here we go. No, because my screen's gone funny since since that happened with the feed earlier.
Yeah.
And now I've got like a 10-second time lag, so I'm now confused with what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
So a card for Sarah. I'm just shuffling away, and actually, okay, wait a minute. Here we go. And we have got the High Priestess. So we have the High Priestess, and the High Priestess is powerful psychic insights, reflection, and meditation that provides valuable information, and be at peace. Meditation is the key word that's coming to my mind from that at the moment. I feel like saying you want peace in your heart and you want to have a little bit of that. I feel like saying perhaps it's not been all. I mean, it's not been like that for any of us the last few years, I suppose, one way or another. But I feel like saying perhaps there's been a reason why for you could really use some. So give that to yourself is what I'm saying. Give that to yourself. Trust your own personal insights. Trust your heart. We've been speaking all night actually about trusting what's on the inside of you as opposed to what's outside of you. As opposed to trusting, what's coming from others, saying mistrust others particularly, but as opposed to trusting information for on the outside or looking on the outside for answers. Find the answers that you need on the inside. Find them from within your own heart, and know that what you decide then is the best information that you need at the time. Be at peace is what the card says, and I feel that you should just do things that helps your peace at this time.
Yeah. Oh well. Jason Wright wants a card. I think we'll do a double whammy for Jason because I keep missing Jason as he comes on. So I start and I finish, and it was in the middle of something earlier on. I'm going to pull a big tarot card because I'm drawing to one here. Oh, look at this, Jason. You will move forward, but you've got to believe in yourself more, right? And you get the Magician card. John, I forgot to say, if you go on your settings and you're on mirror view because your cards are coming over the wrong way around,
all right.
You go to your settings and change that if you can. You might have to log out and in, but go back to Jason, the Magician. This is all about using your existing skills to move forward. And I know it's tough, and I know sometimes you don't believe in yourself, but you have got some really good aspects there. But you're a survivor. I feel a little run down just now, though, Jason. And maybe it's worth coming in and having a proper chat, one-to-one, maybe a bit of life coaching or something, because I feel you're getting your mind's taken over, and it's a self-talk. It's maybe not as positive as it could be. And it's like, look at this. What's the crack? You're in a wee bit of a pickle. And that's really what I'm saying, isn't it, John? And it's every now and then life tosses us a wee bit of a pickle. It's tricky. The card is a gentle nudge to approach these moments with a dash of humour, a sprinkle of patience. Remember, even a pickle, there's always a way out. And often a story worth chuckling about over later. So it's like, yeah, recognize where you are and don't be afraid to ask for help, Jason, and go for it. Now, John, you see if you can go for it, follow on for that positive.
Well, that's the thing. You see, I've got the 8 of Michael, and unfortunately, it'll still be back to front because I don't want to log out and back in again. But anyway, so we've got the 8 of Michael, and I think it's quite relevant. It says, you can be free, make a courageous choice to change your situation, not seeing things clearly. That last bit, not seeing things clearly. For some reason, when I was drawing these cards, and I don't do it very often, but I felt a powerful need to take the card from the bottom of the deck. And the card at the bottom of the deck was this 8 of Michael. I feel it's saying there is something, just like this card was at the bottom, there is something that is hidden from you, and this is why you're not seeing it clearly. That doesn't mean that someone is hiding anything. It just means that there is, by virtue of whatever natural forces are at play, there's something hidden from you, and perhaps it's just a little blockage that you've got inside yourself. And again, everything that I've been saying tonight has been about, that we've been saying tonight has been about looking inward, and it seems to be a theme. I think you want to do the same as well. If you want to see things more clearly, then and you want to make that choice to change a current situation that you need to change, then you kind of really need to look inside and know exactly what you want, and then you'll be able to know what you need to do.
Yeah, I think that's spot on. I think it's backing up. Just for John's website, John's got an amazing blog and good website there. And he's quite serious about some of his stuff, but it's a lot about humour in the background. So that's John's website, johnsoracle.com. Is the right one, John? If it's a few of the
johnsoracle.com, yes, that's it. Yeah.
And so just for anyone out there, and just for what's coming up, just to remind people, back to my wee thing, we've got this weekend. We've got all the events coming on this weekend. Lots of information there. I'll get rid of that caption. That's blocking away here. Yep. Design. And coming up, speaking about spiritual development, I've had great reviews from my last workshop. And this time it's going to be about channeling, John, some of the stuff we're talking about. Okay. And, touching things, feeling things. Obviously grounding and all that as well. It's important that we learn to ground and a bit of connecting to the mediumship and the spirit and stuff as well. And that's on the 9th of March. Andrew's got her amazing Reiki class. I'll be the Debbie McGee helping her. On the 2nd, it's a Friday, Saturday and Sunday, 2 hours on a Friday night. We do all the 3 attunements because it's up to level 1, 2 and 3 in advanced. And you need a rest a night between each attunement. So that's what we'll have over 3 days. If you're using Reiki or other Reiki, this is worth getting. Angelic Reiki is very powerful, very dimensional is the word, right? And of course, every third Thursday, Soul Retreat, we've got a divine service. We have a mediumship for an hour. And afterwards, you have a get-together, a cup of tea and coffee with like-minded people. And we can talk about the evening, and we always have a healing 5 minutes or something as well. So a lot coming up, And we've got some amazing, Reiki shares. If you're interested in Reiki or energy healing at all, come along to one of our shares. Next one's the 13th of February and the 12th of March. You don't have to be a Reiki master, practitioner. Just come along and we'll help you and talk to you about anything to do with Reiki. And in fact, Tommy's coming on my course, the Reiki course. Tommy Goodwin, one of the mediums. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets a view on that. And it really is fascinating. And as I say, we've got the spiritual get together on me and Angela, and we'll be having lots of fun, fortune cookies, carry out and food. So lots coming up. Let's get back to the kind of readings now. Take that off. Technology, John, doesn't always work when you want it to work, does it?
Doesn't, no.
There we go. And back to the chat. Let's see now who we got. Joan Thomas would love a card. Joan Thomas, John.
Joan Thomas. Joan Thomas will love a card. Okay, then here's a card coming for Joan Thomas. Joan Thomas.
And Jason says thank you, by the way.
Oh, you're welcome, Jason. Oh, okay. Oh, no. One at the top. And the Knight of Gabriel. I do apologise for the back to front cards. I'll fix that for next time. Confident, enthusiastic, courageous, and charismatic. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Time to take action, similar to the last one. Time to take action. So whatever's going on, fix it now. I feel like saying it's time to resolve something that's going on in your life that's been going on around you, perhaps that you haven't resolved for the last while. It's been kind of hanging on you. And you haven't really been sure what to do. I feel like saying there's an answer around you, and it is something that you do know the answer to. You know what to do. It's just a question of actually doing it. And this card says time to take action, and it is just that. It's just time now for you to resolve whatever it is that's going on in your life that you need to resolve. You know you can resolve, but you just haven't been doing it. So it's just time to do it now. And that's the message. A quick, brief one, but that's what I'm getting.
Yeah, I get that too. I don't think it's in too heavy for you, Joan. I just think it's time for you to trust in your own feelings as well. Because I feel like there's a little drip saying you can't do this, you can't do that. So whether it's yourself or somebody else telling you, I feel a bit of lack of confidence here, but just go for it. And there's Sarah coming on. She's highly recommending Angela's Reiki course. And Sarah's one of our Scottish ghost hunters, part of the group and all that. And I think we'll pull a wee card for Sarah because she's always helping others. She's amazing at her Reiki now, and she gave me some healing. She's not been well herself lately. And I've got the magician again. It's the second time he's come up tonight, Sarah. And this is telling me I'm drawn to the hands. It's the healing hands I'm drawn to, the magic in the hands, the wand. And it's a connection with crystals. So have you been buying any more crystals lately? Because she loves crystals, John. It's like, but I've got the hands. I'm also feeling how do you say this? I've got to watch what I say here, but there's heart chakra stuff, romantic stuff, emotions. It's coming out. It's like maybe you're telling people what you think of them. Maybe you're expressing your love to your family. There's love coming out. It's like, what are you picking up, John?
What picking up there? Well, I have got the 5 of Michael. Situation doesn't serve you. What have you got? What do you want to escape?
Yeah,
what do you want to escape? The 5 of. I mean, I feel like saying, are you trying to run away from something? Is what I feel like saying. For some reason, I don't know why. It's not really the meaning of the card necessarily, but it's just what's coming to me. It's what's in my mind. What are you running away from?
Yeah, and that's
it's time to stop doing that. Yes.
Yeah, she said,
it's time to stop doing
crystals. And it's funny. I've got a romantic or business opportunities indicated. So my cards are right way around. Number 27, 9 wise number. And she says, me, always new crystals. So anyone else out there that wants a card, I think I've caught them in Facebook. I don't know if I'm getting Twitch and that through, but if you're out there, sorry if I can't see your comments. But YouTube, we're definitely getting the YouTube ones through. Let's see, your
Yeah.
I'll just go back if we've missed anyone. I don't know if Craig Trotter's still there. Are you still about, Craig? Because if you are, give us a wee thumbs up. And we'll see if we can get a wee spiritual connection for you before we log off. I don't know if he's still on. But if he does watch back, he was asking if his granddad was around him. Yes. And there's a big photograph that's just fallen. Or not. Or something that's fallen down. Or it's squint. Because somebody's drawn with a photograph. He says he's around you. But you don't always notice. And you're quite sensitive yourself, so maybe you should tune in yourself. And it's like, come back to the now, but there's a lot of healing being sent to you. And we've got to be careful what we say and live on there. It's always better to get a one-to-one or come in and see us or book a Zoom, you know. Lynn, I don't know if you're there. Lynn's come on. I don't know if she's wanting a card. She's just logged on again. If you're about,
Lynn.
She gives a wee thumbs up. I know there's a 20-second lag, so we're waiting for people to respond. I think it's the weather and stuff that's going on, the energy. There's typhoons in Aberdeen, John, I've been hearing.
Yeah. I mean, well, it was pretty windy earlier, like trees knocking over, and it was quite bad down the central belt as well. I noticed one of my Glasgow friends was posting images on Facebook. He needs a new garden shed, and the picture of his shed was pretty much in bits. I mean, literally all over the garden. There wasn't anything left. So yeah, it's been pretty windy up and down Scotland.
Yes, it has been. Yeah. My wee daughter, she's in Oban, sent me a text. Dad, we're getting typhoons. How exciting!
Yeah, as long as you're not out in it, it's exciting.
Yeah. And is there anyone else? Oh, maybe we're logging off early if there's no one else demonstrating. So I'm just saying we're demonstrating the card readings. If anyone else wants a wee shout. I've seen Lynn's. She says Lynn still watches. Let's pull a wee card for Lynn anyway.
Why not, indeed?
You can always watch back. And you can always watch these back live on, they're recorded on the YouTubes, and they'll be on my Facebook page, the Happy Medium page. It has been shared to other pages, but the Happy Medium page is where we stream from. I've realised to my cost, if I stream to 2 or 3 Facebook pages at the same time, we don't always see the text. So we just share it to them pages. Yeah. And next week's guest, I'm not sure yet. Might be a combination of the 3 of us again. Every Monday, we're going to do something, John, aren't we?
We're going to do something, yeah.
So, Lynn.
Right, so.
Oh, here, I'll put it. Oh, look at this. You're a star. You're a star. This is true because our music's taken off. Hard times are over. I look forward to an abundance of happiness, enthusiasm, and positivity. I think this is to do with Lynn's music. Right, so if she's listening, there's opportunities coming up. She hasn't told me everything yet. Mrs. Angry's changed her name. That was Alex, and I nicknamed her because she was angry about stuff in her course, John. And she's now Mrs. Angry on YouTube, and she's taking a mickey because that's what I wanted her to do. It's her humour. She's quite funny when she's angry, it's like, but she does it in a kind way. And I think you're Mrs. Angry. Remember the Mr. Men, John?
Yes, I remember the Mr. Men.
I think that's great. So get back to Lynn. She's certainly not angry, but she's a star.
She's a star. I've got the 9 of Ariel for her. So actually, yes, because this is a nice lady, on a graceful unicorn looks of this, So it does look like the unicorns are coming your way. Think about unicorns and rainbows and unicorns. We're thinking of, sometimes I think about pipe dreams, but actually this is a pipe dream that's coming true, is what I feel like saying.
Yeah.
A pipe dream is coming true. It says your dreams are fulfilled. Hard work leads to great success. A love for the beautiful things in life. I feel like saying, something that you felt has been like a pipe dream, something you don't really believe or haven't really believed necessarily will happen, is actually potentially going to happen. And so I think that's great news. Yes.
You're a fly one, Lynn. Look, you're a fly one. She didn't tell us half the stuff that she's been up to. Canny, clever, always one step ahead. This card celebrates the wit and willies that make you stand out. It's a call to use your smarts, trust your instincts, navigate situations with a knowingly grin, Keep soaring, you sly fox. Everything you touch will turn to gold, and you can help others achieve be fly too. Lovely, lovely card. I don't know if you get a screenshot of that, but see if you can get that up. But so I'm not telling any porcupines there. This is what the card's saying. Well, what's the crack cards? Hopefully we publish soon, and I'll get them out there. Probably need John to help me sell them, but it's like they're out there. Anna Horn has just popped on and said hi. Didn't know she was on tonight. We'll probably do Anna. She's the last one to pop on. Is a quick card, and we both know Anna. Just quickly.
Yeah, Anna. Yeah,
we'll do a quick card. I'll do a fortune card. John, you can do a wee tarot card if you want.
You're doing a fortune card.
Fortune oracle. Oh, look at this.
Oh, okay, as in like fortune cookie kind of thing. Yes.
Fortune oracle. Yeah. It's like this is an amazing card. Very colourful. Very loving card. Unity. Well, absolutely lovely card, Anna. Right. Unity. It's networking. Time of divine understanding, renewal, peace, and hope. That's your name. Anna Horn. So you radiate and attract great love. Oh, have you got a new lover? What's going on there? No questions on a postcard here. It's like I'm excited. I feel good. Well, it's just the love of life. I feel a lot more love coming into your life. It could even just be animals, but I do feel there's some good news coming around the corner, and I feel a bit of I wouldn't say a massive windfall, but there's something regarding finances coming your way, and I feel quite excited about it. So maybe a little bonus or something, which will make a little bit of a difference. John, over to you.
Yeah. Yes. Well, we have got here the 8 of Gabriel. For Anna, we have got this. A great deal of activity, sudden and immediate results, important communication. A great deal of activity. Things are moving fast for you, Anna, I feel like saying. Things are moving very fast. It's here literally flying, like this lady, literally flying. That's it. That's it. I mean, what more can you say? Some kind of important message. I don't know. It's something that you're expecting as opposed to not expecting. So it's almost like half expecting some kind of message, some kind of news. And you think it's going to go one way. But if you're being a little bit pessimistic, then you're going to be wrong, is what I'm going to say. If you're being a little bit pessimistic, if you haven't really believed that something's going to work out the way you want to, you're actually going to be pleasantly surprised. That's what I'm going to say.
That's good. Really feel. Hello, Michelle. And you come on too late. We're just going away. But I have good advice for you, and I've also got healing being sent to you as well. Right. I think you know what that is. I've got healing. My hands are burning. Sending healing to Michelle, John. Yeah. I think you've had some sad news lately, if I remember. And I'm just sending. I've got hot hands. My hands are burning. So I'm sending them Reiki. Anyway, John, thanks for eventually coming on.
Well, it's kind of weird because this tonight has been just nothing but glitches, and I've ended up with this little mini screen where we're with a 20-second time lag or something. It started off 10 seconds and it seems to have extended.
Yeah.
After my equipment failure earlier on. So you're more than welcome. It's been fun as always. It's always a good laugh coming on and seeing all the guys that come on for you. And it's been great doing the readings as well. So thanks everybody who's listened to all my droll about conspiracies as well. It's always great to have a chance to chat about it.
Yeah, well, I think we were quite diplomatic tonight, John.
Well, we have been, haven't we? Yes, I haven't had to put on a tinfoil hat or anything, which is quite unusual for me sometimes, isn't it?
And I think it's if we just raise a bit of awareness, and we always say on a spiritual path, listen to that. Listen to your own gut feelings, nobody else, not even us.
No, don't listen to me. Don't believe a word I say. Go and find out for yourself. I'll just point you in directions and you can make up your own mind.
So thanks everybody for listening, and it's been a pleasure coming on. And we are every Monday night, and I know that there might not be big numbers on here, but this is downloaded and it goes up to thousands of people watch this. So your comments, your readings are shared. And we're hoping to grow the audience on different channels and more regular. We've got some amazing guests lined up, great subjects, Some will be better than others, I think. And any subjects that you would like us to talk about, spiritual, paranormal, please come on. But it's not just about pulling the cards. We know a lot of people like getting their cards pulled for them, and we always keep 20 minutes, half an hour at the end for that. But it's about connecting yourselves. And my best advice for this week is, if the weather's good, go and take a wee walk or go out and step on the grass and just be in the now and listen. Don't get overwhelmed by all the crap that's out there. What would you say, John?
Yeah, and that's an absolutely good call. Don't go overwhelmed by it. It's why I want to. It's why I want to help us all get to a place of more critical thinking about it and not overwhelm. It's kind of let go of the overwhelm and let go of the feel that people want you to feel. Don't let them do that. Don't let people do that to you. Take a step back, have a chill, go out and have a walk. Have some nice relaxing tea or something. Whatever you like to do to relax, just do that. Yeah. And engage in hobbies, do the things you love to do, and don't let the world drag you down. You just keep informed, but don't let the world drag you down.
Yeah. Anyway, folks, we'll say cheerio for now. John will hang on and speak to me afterwards. But thanks for tuning in, guys. And those that are downloading, hope you enjoyed it. And back on next Monday night, new subject, and see who's around to come on the chat show. So thanks, guys.
Thank you.